Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to see how to build your brand on social media from scratch. All right. In today's session, what we are going to be talking about is the three platforms, uh, basically Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So what you're going to see in these platforms is that the different kind of audience you'll find in these platforms and the kind of content that will engage with the audience in these platforms, as well as the tools you will need to get started, and a small demo on Zoho Social, ideally which will help you organize your entire social media strategy. So on Facebook, ideally you will find customers who are both B2B as well as B2C. And according to industry standards, you see that not more than 2 to 3 posts per week work. So if you're going to be posting every day on Facebook, more number of your followers are going to be unfollowing you. So ensure that you do not make posts more than 2 or 3 per week. And moving on to the focus. So if you are on Facebook and you want to promote your brand on Facebook, so these three are your focus elements. One is engaging better with your audience through targeted content. So ideally, you need to talk about content that will resonate well with your brand, and ideally how your customers are using your brand to make their lives better. So these sort of content work well on the Facebook platform. Then you need to focus on building a community. So there is a customer on Zoho Commerce platform who actually has a link on her Zoho Commerce website that says join my Facebook group. So even if you have only 200, 300 people on that particular group, they are going to be extremely engaged with you. And if they have any problem related to your brand, they're going to come back and talk to you about it. So as and when you build an entire community, you will have like-minded people. So you do not have to man the community. So the other community members will take it up and they will start answering. So you actually have followers who are definitely who are going to be loyal customers. So you can actually go back to these followers, they become your brand ambassador, and a lot of things. So your focus could be on building a community using the Facebook platform. So the last but not least is using Facebook chat effectively. So if you haven't done this already, so Facebook has a chat option. So as soon as you people land on your Facebook page, these chat boxes can automatically pop up. So you can go and set this up. And also, what you can do is you can automate responses in these chat that says, "Good morning, how may I help you?" and very targeted messages. So this will enable customers to actually type in and ask their queries about your brand. So moving on to how effective your Facebook page needs to be. So first we're going to be talking about the banners. As you can see, I have given two different examples here. So if you look at Toys R Us example, it is pretty generic. They have a simple, playful banner design that ideally resonates their brand. So if you look at it, it's playful, it's simple, but it is not talking about any of the product. It is extremely static. The point is, Toys R Us, as a part of a Facebook strategy, they are not making an effective use of their um, banner image. But on a contrary, if you look at Logitech, you can see that they have highlighted the product in their banner. So official ESL1 gaming gear is released. So basically that's the new product. So as a follower, whenever I land into this page, I am going to be seeing their latest product, and this particular banner is going to keep changing as and when I release new products. So it is extremely important as a brand you make effective use of your Facebook banner image. And again, I have given the Facebook banner image size. So ensure you make an you when you are creating or designing your banner image, the size is exactly to this, so that your image aspect ratio is maintained. All right, now setting up your Facebook page the right way. If you look into, or if you actually go into plenty of Facebook pages and they have an online store, they do not make use of the CTA on the top. As you can see, the blue button that says shop now. Plenty of online store owners, they do not set up their Facebook page CTA to shop now. It basically goes into call now or get to know more information or any of such irrelevant CTAs. So for to make effective use of your Facebook page, you need to have the shop now button on top. And also Facebook gives this particular option where you can change the layout of the page to a shopping layout. So if after this, like, once I'm done explaining the layout of the page, I'm going to show you a very small demo. It is like a 1 minute video. So usually I do a live demo, but there has always been a connectivity issue whenever I do a live demo. So I have recorded that particular 1 minute demo and I have it uploaded here. So I'm going to be playing it to you. You can see how to go in and make that particular change in your Facebook background. Before we get into that, I'll just explain the basic information that your Facebook page must have. So one is the CTA that takes them directly to your website. The second is the shop tab as well as reviews tab. So shop tab is going to show you the list of products that you're selling on your store. And then the reviews are going to talk about all the positive things, or it could be even a negative experience of customer. It is okay to display all of the reviews, because it no like as a customer, when I come to your page and I read customer experiences, I know that your brand is active. I know your brand takes all of this seriously, and I would definitely go into your website and shop more. And the last thing is the post. So your post needs to be, it shouldn't be something about, shop the product, shop this product, shop that product. No, people are not going to engage with that sort of a content. So people want to read content that talks about your brand, tell your brand story, tell why you came up with the idea of building such a product. Tell come up with posts that showcases how customers use your product. So these are the different sort of content that is going to create engagement. So now I'm going to show you the small demo about how you can change the template of your Facebook page. All right.
Facebook has changed their entire UI. You would have definitely noticed. So coming back to your page, most online store Facebook pages that I have seen, they don't have a CTA that says shop now. So most of the CTAs usually is like contact us or no more, something like that. So Facebook has a template where you can go in and set up a shop page. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So this is my shop page. So I'm just going to I mean, this is not a fairly good page, but I'm just going to go in and show you how to use the template for shops. So if you actually go into page settings and click on templates and tabs, you can see there are various templates. So clicking on edit, you can see shopping. So once you click on that, you can actually get the template where you have the shop, the reviews, and all the elements that a page for a shop would need. You will have all of those elements. So as you can see, you can enable all that you want. So if you have offers running, you can enable it or you can disable it. If you don't provide offers or you don't want to showcase it on your profile, you can also have groups. So social media pages, online stores must have, like, if you are a very niche brand, building groups around your brand will help you engage better with your audience. So you can create it within the page, so you can go and enable it. So you can do a lot with this template. You can also, like, as you can see live, if you're providing additional services, etc.
All right. So I hope you figured out how you can actually set up a template using ideally the shop template going into the back end of your Facebook page. So I also actually showed you, like, you can enable a live tab. I actually, for brand owners, you need to make use of the live feature that all social platforms are giving out right now. So once every week. I mean, most lot of online store owners do that. They go on live every week, where they talk about their brand, they talk about the newly launched product. They also invite their top customers to talk about their product. So I do hope, as a brand owner, you make use of the live feature and talk more about the product. All right, now moving on to Instagram. So Instagram works best for B2C. I mean, I have seen plenty of B2B brands also making use of Instagram, but looking at Instagram's demographics, the B2C, you will get maximum value out of it. And for the number of posts, you need to be posting at least one post every day, and you can go nuts with stories, make as many posts as you want. Because people, as you know, if you're an Instagram user, you would know, like, once you open the app, all the stories are listed on top, and you just generally, like, anyone who opens the Instagram app, their eyes move to the stories, and then they tend to see what people have posted. So you are going to have more brand visibility by posting as many as stories. And the focus on your Instagram should be visually appealing posts. So definitely, obviously, if you're on Instagram, you're going to be posting images, but ensure the all of the images have very good quality, and then good templates. So in the next slide, I'll be discussing on how to come up with the color tone for your website and how other brands are doing it. And the second form of post is storytelling. So you would have definitely seen a lot of people coming up with different posts that asks you to scroll to the next one. So if you are launching a product, you can the first image could be about the product, the second image could be like, how to use the product, the third image could be like a customer testimonial, something of that sort. This way, you are not just saying, okay, buy my product. You are building a story around the product, and then the post is going to be a much more engaging. And the third form of posting is a 60-second video. So as a store owner, like, make use of this. You really don't need like a professional setup. All you need is like a front camera, just a good smartphone, and your front camera. Just record a 60-second video about how to use the product, what's good about it, it can be as simple as that. Your engagement level is going to be much higher. And the last point about Instagram is using hashtags efficiently. So Instagram allows you to use up to 30, but what industry standard says that using up to 11 hashtags is going to give you maximum engagement. So again, now moving on to the Instagram page. So if you look at an Instagram page, or you can see like the top section, it's not as complicated as Facebook at all. All you have is like three different sections. One is like your introductory section, where you're going to talk about, where you can only talk about your brand in 2 sentences. Feel free to use hashtags within those sentences. And then what you can do is, ideally, this is the only place where you can add a URL. You can't add URL within your post. So most Instagram users, what they do is, they keep changing the URL to talk about the latest post. So each post will say, like, want to know more about it, find the URL in the top section. So understand that this is the only place where you can use a URL. So use the URL space right. The URL needs to be correct. And moving on to the highlight section. So this highlight section is a great real estate. So if you're used to using Instagram, you know that the stories do not stay live for more than 24 hours. But what you can do is, you can use these highlight section to save your stories. So one of our top Instagram sellers, they are also commerce users. Their main selling point is the reviews. So they have before after pictures, and they have over 300-400 reviews on their highlight section that talks about how different product has helped different people. So that particular section yields them maximum revenue, because if I land into your brand and then I see customer testimonials, I'm going to be clicking on it, and when I see pictures of customers actually using the product and getting good response to it, I'm definitely going to go in and give that product a try. So make use of the highlights. So if you have, like, your newly launched product can be in one highlight section. So your different collections could be different highlights. So be creative, and stay engaging and stay relevant, and come up with a proper strategy for your Instagram highlights. And then next is the post section. So this is where I was discussing, where you need to have a clear idea about how you want people to represent your brand. If you look at Chambak, they have very clear, like they have, as you can see, pastel colors in their all their posts. So if you look at it, they have like a pastel pink, a teal blue, and if you scroll in their profile, you can see various posts with a similar color tones. And if you on a contrary, if you look at Spigen, all of their pictures are black and gray, because that's what their brand represents, that's how their products are. So you need to understand and you need to come up and fix this particular information. The color and the tone needs to remain the same as you build your Instagram page. So this is something you cannot do now. This will evolve in a matter of time, but this should be your end goal. At the end of 6 months, you need to ensure that you set up a color tone, you set up a strategy, you set up the perfect kind of an imaging template that would represent your brand, and post those regularly. All right. Now moving on to Twitter. So Twitter is a platform that works best for B2B as well as B2C. And there are like millions of tweets that goes out every day. And if you are somebody who's like Facebook, posting once or twice um, a week, your posts are going to get lost amongst the other posts. So there are people who are selling on Twitter, who are marketing on Twitter. They make more than 8 to 10 posts a day. But to start out, you can start with 2 to 3 different posts every day, and the focus should be on the creative use of trends. So Twitter, if you are an active Twitter, you will know that you cannot what to say, you cannot make any kind of post. It's not going to give you any visibility. You need to be focused around trends. You need to be talking and again, Twitter has Twitter audiences are people who are extremely passionate about certain things. They could be passionate about politics, they'll be passionate about football or cricket, or about Star Wars or Avenger, the latest Avenger movie. So the Twitter economy is around niche. So if your product is around a niche, and if you can sell it in Twitter, then this is the right platform for you to be investing in. And the last focus is tell stories on Twitter threads. So as you know, Twitter has a limitation of only 280 characters per post. So what people use is, so they frame the first tweet, and then in comment section they build out their stories. So this is something that you cannot use regularly. So this form of Twitter threads can be used if you are trying to tell your brand story, if you're trying to tell something that will help you to connect with your audience emotionally. So these are the different kind of posts that you can see value in Twitter. So we are just going to go in and see how to frame your Twitter page. So setting up your Twitter page right. Again, it's the banner. It is whatever I spoke for Facebook applies to Twitter as well. And as you can see, the next section is again just like Instagram. You get only 2 or 3 different lines to talk about your brand, so use it well. Also feel free to use hashtags. And the third thing is include support information. So a lot of people take on to Twitter to complain about brands. They want to talk to people that matter in that particular Twitter account. So your brand. So Twitter is a place where people want to reach out to support. So ensure you highlight your support information on Twitter. So now we are going to be talking about how brands are effectively using Twitter. So if you look at Big Bad Toy Store, they sell toys around action figures around Star Wars characters and the latest GI Joe characters. So these are all people who are extremely passionate about all of these action figures and superheroes, and they are the kind of people that Big Bad Toy Store targets, and that is why Twitter is the main platform for them. So if you actually go into this particular brand, you can see that customers, as soon as a product is delivered to them, they take up to Twitter to review the product. They like to talk about, hey, I just received it, thank you so much. So these sort of very sweet messages customers leave for them. The same applies to Spigen. Spigen is again like a phone accessory company. So there are a lot of people who are very passionate about their phones. As soon as they get the latest Spigen product, they actually unbox it, and there are also like posts about unboxing. They put it on their phone, and then they click pictures, and then they share it on Twitter. So Twitter again doesn't apply for every e-commerce brand. It applies for brands that focus on probably technology, that focuses on a niche. So if your brand sells something around those, you will definitely find value in Twitter. All right. So we have discussed Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Now we are going to be talking about posts that your audience will care about. So I have listed various kinds of posts, and how brands are using such posts to engage with their audience. So first is the first kind of post is, who are you as a brand? So if you look at Nourished Life, they like this particular brand owner, what she does is she takes up to Instagram and she comes up with a 1 minute video where she talks about, not 1 minute, like she basically uses the video as a driving platform, where she talks about the different product and the ingredient that goes into the product, and why she came up with the product. And if you see, look at the comment section, people have basically used her first name to talk to her. So this shows the level of engagement that she has with her audience, and audience respect that, and then they look at her as an influencer. So this particular post, it's her birthday, and she took up to like Instagram to talk about her daily routine, and people are like taking in a word, and then they list, and then they probably go back and they follow the particular routine, because she's not only a brand owner but an influencer to her audience. Okay. Next is using creative photographs to get your customers' attention. So on the right, you can see Nature Foodie. So Nature Foodie is a Zoocommerce customer, where she uses reviews. Basically, she screenshots the reviews that customers send her, and then she posts it on her Instagram. As you can see, the content, it has like all heart emojis, and this just basically looking at it, it shows that it's a happy customer. And I would definitely, as somebody who hasn't used Nature Foodie, looking at all the positive reviews, looking at this picture, I am going to want to try the product. On the left is an Awfully Chocolate brand, which is a Singapore company, where the brand owner has a very great brand story. Basically, she wanted to have a very good slice of chocolate cake, which she was not able to. That's why she came up with her own brand. And just looking at the chocolate cake, it's basically like one particular slice is cut out, and it's a very simple photo, but the photo has a lot of effect, a lot of emotional connect. Looking at it, I feel like I want to have a chocolate cake. So these sort of using images to create an emotional connect is a second kind of content you need to look into for social for an effective social strategy. The third is you need to be extremely responsive. As you can see, I have taken Zappos as an example, because Zappos is known for their customer support. And if you look on the right side, a customer has had some sort of an issue. They responded within an hour. So ideally, according to a Twitter study, 71% of customers expect you to respond within an hour, and that's what Zappos does every day. On the left side, you can see Isaac Barber has actually taken up to Twitter and linked, basically they mentioned Zappos, and expressed and told, like, how this particular customer service representative Heather had helped him, and then he's come up with an hashtag that says race for Heather. So this is the kind of content your brand needs. So this particular customer has a very good relationship with the support team, and your brand should strive to achieve that. So the fourth thing is social mentions. So if you look at this particular post, it's from 2011, but it's still viral and it's still trending, and I found it. Ideally, it's this person, Peter. He was flying out, and then he linked to this particular place called Morton's and told them, like, he really would love to have a steak delivered when he lands wherever. So ideally, as you can see, apparently Morton's took this customer's request seriously and then actually made the delivery, where you can see the picture of the customer. He's extremely happy and he shared it on Twitter, and this particular post went viral. So you need to understand that if Morton's wasn't active on Twitter, they could have missed this. If they had seen it at 1 hour later, it would have been impossible for them to actually make that steak and then make the delivery all the way to the airport. So this is why social mentions are important, and you need to keep listening in social media. And I'm going to show you how to do that using Zoho Social, and take advantage of it. Okay, moving on to it. And the fifth kind is like providing useful and engaging information. On the left side, you can see Third Wave Roaster, where they have shown me. So I am a coffee addict, and this lockdown has not been kind on me, where I have not been able to get good coffee. I mean, yes, what I get at home is fine, but then these sort of coffees. So basically, they showed me how I can use the basic utensils I have at home to make a good coffee using their coffee powder. So this is something that I actually went in, I ordered their coffee, and then I tried it out at home, and it was a very good experience, and I told my friends about it. I asked them to try it out. So right now they are not only engaging me, but they are also pushing me involuntarily to like tell people about their product. So this is the kind of engaging and useful post that you need to come up with. And on the right side, Chumbak, what they do is basically they showcase pictures of how customers are using the product to decorate the balcony, to decorate their living room. So if you go into their social profiles, it's filled with pictures of how customers are putting using their product. All right. So six things is using stories creatively. Again, Glossier is a very great brand who have got their email strategy right, and then their social media strategy right. So I hope you can go in and follow them. As you can see, how they have framed their story is the first slide of the story is how to get rid of acne. So if I have acne, I am like compelled to go in and see what they say next. So next is basically say they use sunscreen every day, exfoliate your skin using salicylic acid, glycolic acids, etc. Yes, it's all basic information, but it doesn't end there. They say, okay, next story is for advanced routine, click here. If your Instagram handle doesn't have more than 10,000 followers, you cannot link out of Instagram, but definitely you can see how they are engaging me and keeping me engaged and making me move to the next story. So you can again replicate the strategy and see how it works best for you. Giveaways are another great ways to engage your audience, and not only engage, basically it's a great way to increase your followers. So ideally you come up with a simple giveaway. It could be a basic t-shirt, a mouse pad or something, and then say tag your friend and leave a comment or like this post. Like you can give them set of three or four things, and people are going to go in and definitely do it, because yeah, I'm going to get free stuff, and all I'm going to do is um, do a couple of things. And the best part about this is the hashtag giveaway is going to give you a lot of traction. A lot of people come in and look for like the latest giveaway in and around the areas, and so just linking your post to this giveaway hashtag is definitely going to give you maximum traction. Then using micro influencers. On the right side, you can see Flow, where they have basically donated a lot of water cartons to the medical workers during the COVID situation, and this has helped them to like generate a ton of value. But that is something that is very COVID specific again. But on the left side, that you can see is using micro influencers. Um, Ideally this particular post is from my friend, so she is a nutritionist. So basically what this brand does is, so this brand they manufacture um, cold pressed oils and ghee. So everything is extremely natural, there's no artificial preservatives, etc. And their focus or their target audiences are people who are looking to get healthy, people who are looking to make lifestyle choices, and all of those things. So they what they did was they targeted nutritionists. So my friend who's a nutritionist and has like 10,000 plus followers basically received a sample from this brand owner. And again, this brand owner has sent it to not only my friend but again 10 to 20 different nutritionists in and around India. And basically what they are not paying these people. What they did is just send out some products, and these people found the product to be valuable for their customers, so they gave a shout out. So ideally, as a new brand, I have zero followers, but just using this small strategy, what I've done is reached out to 10 different nutritionists, and each of these nutritionists, provided they have 10,000 followers, I have reached out to 1 million customers. So using micro influencers is a great strategy for any brand that is starting out. The key is to find the right person to send your products out. And again, my friend was not paid to give a shout out, it was just the products. But if when the micro influencer finds your product to be of good quality or of value, they are definitely going to go ahead and share it with their audience. And the last point that I want to talk about is giving back to society. Now that the COVID situation has happened, there was a lot of customers that said, like, we want to contribute to brands that is giving back to the society, that is doing something good for the essential workers, to the medical helpers, etc. So a lot of brands, it is as simple as Chipotle has only sent like some burritos to the medical workers nearby. So these are all very simple things that anybody can do. You don't have to go out of the way to arrange for things, but like using what you have and giving back to the society is great content for customers, because customers are going to definitely give back the love to you. Okay, so now we have spoken about the different platforms and the content that goes needs to go into each platform. What are the tools that you need to have a successful social strategy? Ideally, for Zoho Commerce, we use Canva. We find Canva extremely efficient because you have pre-built templates into it. So give it a try. There is like a forever free plan also. So definitely Canva will help you out and simplify your end-to-end session. And next is use websites like freepick.com, pexels.com, and pixabay.com. It is going to greatly simplify your imaging solution problems, because you don't have to go outside and click pictures. All you need to do is go there and download pictures. And Pexels and Pixabay are all free to use, so no worries at all. And for the scheduling, we use Zoho Social. So I have a small demo that I had recorded before this session. So what ideally, I have covered three different things in this demo. First is how to schedule a post, and second thing is how to use the mention feature to ideally keep a watch about what people are talking about you. If so when people tag your brand, you can get in there and then respond immediately by just using bringing all your platform in one place and then basically monitoring it. And last is the reporting feature. So let's go in and take a look at the demo.
You can log into Zoho Social by typing in the URL social.zoho.com. So once you log in, and if it's a new account, you will have prompts that will help you add your first social platform with this particular account. And once you're done adding one, you have the option to add more. As you can also see, right now this account is just linked with our Zoho Commerce Facebook. But I also, through this button, I can actually go in and connect my Twitter profile, Instagram, um, Google My Listing profile. So ideally, it's like one place where I can manage all of my social portals. So once you have linked to all the profiles, you have the option to also schedule the post using Zoho Social. So I am just going to show you basically the calendar feature, which will help me organize all of my posts and not only organize it, it will schedule it. So I will only have to spend in like, half a day in a week, or probably one day for the month, and I can go in and schedule all the posts. So this way, all of my social channels are consistent and the messages are going out, and I don't have to keep revisiting each and every platform to post the post, because it is extremely time consuming, and as a store owner and like a business owner, it is impossible for you to handle. So if you are starting your social brands from scratch, this is like a great place to start. So I'm just going to show you basically, how to schedule a simple post. You can improvise from there. So once you click on post and then click on calendar, you can basically see the calendar layout here. And just coming here, I just need to click on this particular icon where this pop-up comes up. So using this pop-up, you clicking on this attach photos, I can just click on it, and whatever photo that I have designed uh, gets added here. So you also have the option to add multiple photos. I'll be also sharing a URL with you where you can actually see which platform supports what dimension of image. That is a great post for you to keep in handy. So once I've done that, I need to enter in the content. So I have a content already written. So I'm just going to copy it and paste it here, and always add some, like, if you are a B2C, even if you are B2B, like, it's a nice way to add emojis to your post, because it will personalize it a bit, and people can, looking at the emojis, people can understand what this post is all about. They don't even have to read it. So that is the main reason why, if you go into Instagram, you see a lot of people have a lot of emojis for the entire content. So I'm just going to add a couple of emojis to make it a bit more personalized. And once that's done, you need to add you can add up to 11 tags as discussed in the webinar. And then all you need to do is click on schedule. So there is the publishing, as you can see, there are various options. You can just go ahead and publish it now. There is also an option to repeat this post. So generally a giveaway or a sale, you need to post this multiple times. So you can go in and schedule, or like, this post could be again scheduled on Saturday or Sunday, where more number of people are online in their Instagram or on their Facebook. And there is also an option of to choose a smart queue slot, which based on your account performance, it can tell you, like, posting at this particular time is going to get your maximum impressions or maximum engagement. So again, for that, smart queue slot to give you an accurate result, you should have been active on social for quite some time. So right now we're not going to get into that. We are only focusing on, filling up your calendar with the relevant posts so that your brand is consistent on social. So go ahead and use the schedule post and fill up the calendar, and let's see your followers increasing. Not only followers increasing, you can actually see the traffic from your social profile move to your website. Now that we have seen the calendar feature, let's go in and see how the monitor feature and the reporting feature of Zoho Social works. So to actually see the monitoring feature, I'm just going to connect my Twitter profile. I delete the Zoho Commerce Twitter profile. So I just clicked on the Twitter icon there, and then accepted the connection. Now my Twitter account is linked to Zoho Social. So once that's done, ideally what I'm going to, you should be able to see your Twitter thing. So since I just added my Twitter account to social, we will not be able to see the account's data here. But as days goes by, you can actually see it increase. So once that's done, I'm just going to show you the monitoring feature. This feature is a great place because it is going to help you show what customers or other brands or reviewers or influencers are talking about you. So every mention about your brand name will come up here. So that just popping into Zoho Social every day and looking at this mention column, you can see. So ideally, like, once you connect all of your social profile, you can actually see a mention column from Facebook, from Twitter, and Instagram, all of it here. And you can, by just taking a peek at that one dashboard, you can see if people have mentioned you anywhere, and if you need to go in and either like the post or comment on it, thank people, or if there are any complaints, you can immediately go in and take action. So that is why this particular monitoring feature of Zoho Social plays a very important role. And it's not only mentioned. So if you actually click on this plus button, you can see other visitors post, like if people have gone into your social profile and made a post on your profile in Facebook, or if people have liked your post, or if people have commented on it. So you can actually go in and through this profile itself figure out if there are any action that you need to take. This reply button on the mentions tab itself, you can actually respond. So you really don't have to go into your profile to take in to make any sort of an engagement. It can all be done within social itself. So and it's not only that, like there is also other various feature, like once you start using it, you will figure out. So basically keyword search, one keyword search is something like I type in e-commerce. So e-commerce is extremely important for Zoho Commerce. So I can actually see what people are talking about e-commerce, what is the latest news. So if you're selling some organic skincare, so you can actually type in and see what people are talking about it, what are, like basically see what your competitors are doing around it. So you can figure out keywords that is important to your business and have it saved here, and you can monitor it and notice it using this particular tab. So it's a great feature. And the best part is you don't have to go into the different platforms to figure this information. You can do everything in Zoho Social itself. Okay, now that we have had a look at monitor, let's move into the reporting feature. The reports is another great place where you can basically see. So as you can see here, you will see Facebook. I can see all that has happened on my Facebook. Ideally see what sort of tractions have happened on the page. So we don't do any sort of paid marketing. So everything is organic. But if you're doing paid, you can actually see the traction between organic versus paid. You can see like the kind of paid impressions that you get for the different posts. You can see like, the likes, the dislikes, the positive feedback, the negative. So there are so much information that happens. So for us, it's just a page. But unless and until you go inside and look at the reporting, you will not understand how people are perceiving your brand and what sort of information can be collected. So that's not bad. Like, this is basically the summary. As you can see, there is also a tab with audience. So you can take a look at audience. So you can see what sort of post boosted your traffic. So as you can see, there are various peaks. So these are the days we would have made post, but the post made on June 20th has had maximum impact. So I am going to go inside and see what post on June 20th actually brought in so many people, what hashtags helped me get that particular boost. So by tracking all of this data, I am going to frame a very solid social strategy. So that is why reporting is extremely important, because otherwise it's impossible for you to figure all of these information organically using just your platform.
All right. I hope the demo has helped you get an overview about how Zoho Social is going to help kickstart your social strategy. Um, and again, this particular session is entirely for like new brand owners who are trying to start their social up from scratch. And we are going to have follow-up sessions which is going to discuss strategies in details, platform in details. So if we are looking at Facebook, we'll be looking at also the paid Facebook strategies, etc. So any questions? Again, yeah, let's also look at the key takeaways before we move into the Q&A. The key takeaways are ideally images and videos are going to be driving more engagement in your social media. Also, when you are coming up with a content strategy, don't just talk about your product alone, talk about how your brand is helping customers. Tell your brand story. If you come up with a product, tell, like, what inspired you to come up with the product, what pain point are you eliminating, what is the value proposition of buying from you. So there are definitely so many thought would have gone into building your brand. So you need to recapture all of those moments and use the social platform as a place to bring out these information. So again, we spoke about engaging posts which are useful for your customers, and sharing reviews and testimonials in creative ways on your platform, as well as making strategic use of the giveaway hashtag, as well as micro influencers. How so you need to like track down relevant micro influencers, send out a product. You can also incentivize that particular strategy. But majorly, if you're starting out, incentives are not important, because micro influencers are people who are also trying to push their brand on the social media, so they will definitely help you out. So I hope, yes. So um, so yeah, like I was mentioning before, we are going to be having detailed session about each platform. So stay tuned to us by following us on our social platforms. And yes, thank you so much for joining us today.